Finally, after 5 long and painful but fulfilling years of hard work, my book, The Efficientpreneur, A Practical Guide to Transition from Employee to Efficient Entrepreneur, is now available on Amazon. The Efficientpreneur hit number 1 in 5 different Amazon stores during the first week of its launch, making it a number 1 international bestseller. If you are an employee who wants to transition into efficient entrepreneur, or you are a successful business owner and wants to 10x your performance, profitability, and freedom with less time, effort, and cost, this book is for you. You can download 2 free chapters of the book from ahmedalkarimli.com/free book, or buy the complete version of the book from Amazon or theefficientpreneur.com. Hi everyone, this is Ahmed Al-Karimli and welcome to Be Efficient TV. The mission of this web TV show is to boost the efficiency of your business and life with tips and tricks from leading experts. And today I have with me Alinka Rutkowska. She is a multi-award winning and number 1 international best-selling author and coach for authors. Welcome to the show, Alinka.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. It's great to be here.
My pleasure. What's your background and how did you start in the authoring world?
My background is business. I went to business school and then I worked in multinational corporations for several years. And after that, I found a need to write a book and publish it. So while I was still working in one of the corporations, I published the book. And, beginner's luck, the book had a lot of success. The royalties from my book were higher than my salary in the company, which was already good. So that was a really good motivation for me to leave and start traveling the world and getting into the publishing business, because I always liked books, I always liked writing, and I always liked business. So it was a perfect combination.
The first book was about kids, and it was like a deal with a traditional publisher, or how it worked? Because it's amazing if just the royalties covered your salary or more than your salary.
Yeah, so the first book was a self-help book that I published in 2010, and the publishing space looked a little bit different back then, 8 years ago. So it wasn't as competitive, and some of it was beginner's luck. So that book sold really well, but it's not realistic to expect, to be able to have a comfortable living forever off one book. So you need to keep working on the other offers, be it books or higher end offers. So
what was the name of the book and how many books you wrote so far?
So that book was called the first book, you don't even want to talk about it anymore. Okay. Because
I will not mention.
But it was called Read Me, I Am Magical, and it had a really long subtitle. So one of the things that I did well that I didn't know was that it was positioned really well. So I had some marketing background. I managed to position it well, and had a really good title and subtitle. And then I got into those children's books. And it started with one. It started because I met my husband on a cruise ship, and then I wanted to become a mom. So I thought, I'm going to write some books for the kids that I'm going to have.
Okay.
And so I wrote these. First story was it was Maya and Filippo make friends in Auckland, because I was in Auckland. I met him actually on a cruise from Auckland to Sydney. And so that first story was about 2 children, Maya and Filippo. Maya is older, and they travel on the cruise ship and visit different ports of call, and there's a positive theme to it. And that was the first one. I really liked it. Then I did the second one, and it grew to a series of 15. I self-published those. But then you mentioned the traditional publisher. I sold foreign rights to a traditional Chinese publisher. So all those books were acquired and translated and published in China. So, China has a very large population, so that was a pretty good deal.
How many books you wrote and published so far?
Over 20, yeah.
And total sales, if you can share it? Because you have a book like How to Sell plus 80,000 books means you sold more. I guess more than 100,000.
Yeah. We're in the hundreds of thousands, but I have to check the numbers.
Okay. Your focus, Janer, in what in terms of books? Like you like more self-help or the kids, or you write for both now, or you just focus on coaching authors?
So I do all that. Well, now I do two things right now. So I sort of moved away from the kids' books because you can't do everything. So the 20/80 rule. So this is this is a business card. It's not the actual book. This is my book for authors. How I sold 80,000 books. And yeah, you can actually get it when you go to authorwisdom.com. You can get it for free. So this is an entry level, like an entry into my world. So when somebody gets the book, then I have other things that I offer. Like I work with authors. I promote their books to libraries. I do a group coaching. I have an online summit that people can go through. There's a lot of higher end offers, higher than the book. And then this is my newest release, Supreme Leadership. So going back to business, back to where I started. So this is a book where I interviewed 34 CEOs who are celebrating their 25th anniversary this year. And this is something I'm really excited about. And so I have this, which is unique in itself. It's getting really great reviews. I have the ex-CEO of Coca-Cola who wrote an editorial review for this, and top 100 thought leader in America in business. So this is great stuff. And I also help some of these CEOs. I'm working on individual books with them. So I help them, from the topic selection so that the book flies and launch, publishing launch, everything. So I work with CEOs, and we've also got some celebrities that I work with. But we're going to keep it low profile for now. I'm going to,
Usually you work on the writing side as well, or only the marketing and strategy, or you hire a writer or ghostwriter?
On everything. So the way I do it is, it's usually, business memoirs, something like that. So it's like, biography, business, or, so books that basically the person has in their head, but doesn't have the time to write, or, the knowledge on how to market, how to publish. So those are the two main reasons. Why it's a good way to work with me. And what I do is I interview them. So first I do the research and make sure that the book is structured, correctly, positioned correctly. And then when we know that, we do an outline. And after that, we do extensive interviews. And there's a ghostwriter who I hire out ghostwriters who do the writing.
Even for yourself, or for yourself?
Yes.
You like to write yourself?
Yeah, no, actually this was ghostwritten.
Okay. So you just do the structure and the main ideas, and then they ghostwrite it?
Yeah. So the idea, the structure, exactly. That's mine.
You will self-publish it as well, or you will traditionally publish it?
No, self-publishing through my own imprint, and then I have a foreign rights agent who already wants to take it and send it all over the world to promote it to foreign publishers, and they're often traditional publishers.
Would you go for traditional publishers, like for the US rights, or no? Yourself?
Well, if I got a attractive offer, I would definitely consider it. The time frame is just so slow for me. I mean, I can't. I wouldn't be able to. So the idea for this book came in June 2017. In June 2017, this was an idea. 6 months later, it's a published book. I would never be able to do that with a traditional publisher. So I don't think I would be able to wait, 2 years to have this out. I'm just too fast. But, if the book was already out and there was, something in it for me, then I would absolutely consider it. Why not?
Back to your job, you were working in which sector in business before?
I worked in marketing. In Shell, I worked in marketing. And then in Whirlpool, I was part of it was called a fast track program for high potential. The idea was that these were supposed to become leaders of the company in the future. So I worked in various departments with them. I did logistics first. I had a project there. Then I worked in sort of had a project in a factory, and I had to. My job was to find processes that were sort of wasteful, so eliminate those. So I'm a certified Six Sigma black belt.
Okay.
So Six Sigma is like a program that GE
Yeah.
used to run. So I did that, and then I worked in customer service in Paris for a while, and then I came back to the Whirlpool headquarters in Europe and worked with vice president operations, and then I left.
Where are you based now?
So I'm between Italy and the US. Because my husband is Italian, but I travel back and forth. So, so home is where I am.
How did you learn marketing books? Like, it was a try and error, or like you researched yourself online, or that someone mentored you and you learned the processes? And
Well, I studied marketing. I went to business school in Warsaw, in Poland, and in Milan, in Bocconi, Università Commerciale Luigi Bocconi, which is the best. Both of them are the best business schools in their respective countries. And then I worked in the multinational corporations, and as far as marketing the books is concerned, it was, I had some knowledge, and then it was, trial and error and learning from whatever was out there. So I read all the books, and whoever had a course, I would get it. So I know like everything that's going on in the space. Now I'm very well connected with other influencers in the space. So we collaborate, and now it's pretty easy for me to launch books, to make them a success. But it wasn't when I was started. But I think it all boils down to just to passion and to really wanting to be able to do that. So I think those are really key ingredients.
take us through a book launch, like from start to finish. Like, what would you do to prepare for the launch?
Yeah. Okay. So I can talk about Supreme Leadership because I just launched. I'm launching it now. So okay. Well, so the first thing you need to have is a launch team. So you need a landing page. Like I created a landing page for this one, Supreme dash Leadership. When somebody goes there, they sign up to be part of the launch team. So all my efforts, like a month to 2 months before the launch, are concentrated on getting people on that launch team. So getting them to go to that page and sign up.
Sign
so I
up
did all
as
kinds
what?
of
As
things.
launch team or as customers or
As
pre-orders?
as a launch team member. So they sign up to get a free review copy. So like the expectation is that they will review the book.
Okay.
So I use, all my resources to get people on that launch team. I have an assistant whose only job is to scout for Amazon reviewers. So she contacts people who reviewed books similar to this one and asks them if they would join the launch team and review the book. So that's all she does, like for 2 months, for 8 hours a day. Then I, well, of course, I use my own contacts. So I have lists of authors and previous readers of other books, and I will email them asking them if they'd like to join the launch team because there's always like a crossover.
So the launch team is the reviewers basically team.
Yes.
And how many reviews you have to collect before you launch the book?
Depends on how many reviews you want. Like if you want to launch with 100 reviews, you need to have at least 300 reviewers on the list because only one third of them will only one third of the people who commit to write a review writes a review.
But how much is enough to, let's say, hit number one, to prepare for a mega launch or hit number one international bestseller, or like, within the plan to launch it properly?
Yeah, it depends on the category that you're in. There are more competitive categories. There are less competitive categories. There are categories like subcategories that all you need is a few sales and you're going to be number one in that subcategory. And I don't see why you can't use that right. That you are the number one best-selling book in that category. I mean, if you did it, you did some preparation.
And it doesn't matter. Like I see many people when they launch, they just pick the easiest category to hit number one with it, and they just they call themselves number one in bestsellers.
Yeah, well, they are in that category.
Yeah, no one gonna ask about the category, correct? Just the status, right? So it doesn't matter. Or
it's the status. It's actually very blurry now. Yeah, what you said happens a lot, but then you're not really. You can actually be in several categories on Amazon, not just in two. It can be many more. So it's a good idea to have one that's narrow so that you can claim that status. You can even put that in your description that you hit number one in that category. So that's definitely like social proof that the book is climbing up the ranks. And pick also wider categories where you get more visibility. Yeah, but that's just one thing. It's not really. Well, you can even use that, sort of to as a bragging status, bragging rights. But to actually have a career as an author, you really need to think a little bit more long term. So
you launch first the Kindle and paperback, or just the Kindle, or how you usually do that?
Yeah, Kindle and paperback together.
Okay. And you focus on Amazon, or also you include other platforms like iTunes?
I start with Amazon. So I start with Amazon.
Okay.
I like to do a free launch. So I have the book. The book is free for the first 3 days. I would do 3 days. And so that then, I bring all those reviewers to download that book for free, to write the reviews. And then it gets a massive boost, out in the free rankings. Then when it turns to paid, I will also motivate my launch team members to buy it, and I will give them bonuses when they buy. So if they buy the book, even though they have the free book, they can buy the paperback, and then they get a bunch of stuff. Like, for example, for Supreme Leadership, when they buy the book, they will get like a bunch of courses from me, and also there will be a group coaching session with one of the CEOs who is featured here. So for everybody who buys, they will be on a group coaching call with one of the CEOs.
And
so that's awesome.
When people review the free version, does it count as a verified purchase when they review it, or it doesn't matter?
When they download it first? Then
if they download it for free and they do a review, is it weight on Amazon the same way when they buy a paid version and review it?
It's a verified purchase. It counts as a verified purchase. It gets that little label, verified
even
purchase.
If it's free.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then what's so you launch it for free, people download it, do the reviews, then what's next?
Then I move to paid. So I'm going to run ads to boost it. So Amazon ads, Facebook ads, and I'm going to motivate people to buy. So when they buy, they're going to get a bunch of bonuses because they bought. So they send the receipt, and they will get online courses and group coaching, stuff like that.
Amazon, I hear like Amazon ads, it's cheaper and makes more money. Is that correct? And when you sell on Facebook, do you convert positively? Means if you put $100, you can make, let's say, $200 or something like that.
It's going to depend. Depends on the book, on the author, on the moment, on the timing, on the topic. So you just have to test. You have to test yourself, the different Amazon ads.
What works for you the best? Like, do you, let's say, when you advertise on Facebook, do you direct the traffic directly to the Facebook page? To the Amazon page to buy the book, or you lead them to a landing page and they put their email and name, and then you try to sell them through the emails?
I prefer to send them to the landing page.
Okay, so you prefer to get emails first, and then you try to sell it in the email sequence.
Yes.
Okay. When you said the free launch first, and then you move to the paid, the paid version, all of this is under Kindle Unlimited, which is the 90 days, or you don't go with the Kindle Unlimited? Yeah,
I go in there once, so for the 3 months, and then to be able to do the free launch, and after that I go wide.
Means you go to the other platforms like Nook or Smashwords. What's the best platforms that you recommend?
The Apple iBooks. You need to be there. Just everywhere, wherever you can get your book in. You can use Draft to Digital to get in. Some of the less known platforms. You can use Smashwords. Just everywhere.
What's the easiest way to do those giveaways to generate sales or reviews? What's the strategy of the giveaways?
Which giveaways?
Like, do you use any softwares to do giveaways for the book to generate sales or to generate opt-ins, or you don't use that?
I don't really do giveaways. I just the only time when people can get the book for free is when they is before the launch. So I really want to focus on the launch and have the algorithm notice that the book is in demand, and then I run ads, or I prefer to get people on the landing page first, get their email, and then immediately upsell them the book. So like immediately on the thank you page, upsell them the book. If they don't buy it, then send them emails, and they will have another chance to get it.
Is there any different strategies of the landing pages that you use, or is just one thing like you use? Like, can you take us through that? Like, what do you usually offer? Like some people, I use like one of the strategies is like offering people, if they buy the book for 99 cents, then later on I can, if they reviewed it, I will pay them, let's say $2-3, even with the cost of the exchange, or like to make it free for them later, or like what's the strategies that you use through the landing pages to enhance sales?
I saw you do that. Do that.
Yeah.
I've never experimented with that. Well, there's one thing, Amazon doesn't want you to incentivize reviews.
Yeah.
So you can't really incentivize reviews. You can incentivize purchases. So I do that. But you can't incentivize reviews, like by giving somebody something. Like before they had this law, I used to like give all the reviewers like another book or whatever, or do a draw and give some of them some Amazon gift cards. But it doesn't make sense to talk about it anymore unless they get rid of that rule, because now you can't do that. But what I try to do is like bond with them. So I get them on the launch team early, and I send them emails just explaining to them, how important it is for me as an author, and what's in it for them as well, that they get to express their thoughts and publicly.
But do you use different landing pages, like each one with a different strategy, or just one landing page that you get the email and try to sell them on the landing page you said, and then through the emails, and that's it?
Well, no, on the landing page I don't sell them. I want them to join the launch team and get a free review copy. And so the landing page is there's no selling on the landing page. Then when potentially when they sign up, then you can, I wouldn't upsell them during the period, during the pre-launch period, because the book is not for sale yet. So they get a free review copy. It's really I guess it's attractive because it's a really narrow period of time. Like there's a deadline. You get it for free until then, and then that's it. But after that, when you have all those people on your launch team and they have your free book, you can incentivize them to buy your paperback or to buy multiple paperbacks, and then you can give them something because they bought your book.
When you
move,
when you move to the paid, how much you price it? 99 cents or 2.99, or what's the best price for Kindle and for paperback? And
depends.
How long you keep it for that price, and then for how much you raise it?
Yeah, well, for example, for this book, this is $9.99 immediately, because this is a business book. That's the that's the price for like high quality business books. That's the price, so, or higher, but I get a 70% royalty when it's below $10, so I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, so this is a complicated question. The pricing, it's different for ebooks, it's different for paperbacks. Now for ebooks, if you really want to know, you should test. So you should raise it to $1, keep it at $1 for 2 weeks and not change anything. So the same level of promotion that you were running, maintain it and keep maintaining it. So the same level, it's difficult. But you try to keep all other factors unchanged, and you keep raising the price by $1 every 2 weeks. And then you see at which point you make the most royalties. So you can do that for the ebook. Now there's also in beta testing on Amazon gives you like a graph where you can see what the what other books similar in your genre, what the highest royalty is, at which price point. So you can use that, their suggestion. Then for paperbacks, it also depends, because if you want to, for example, focus on bulk sales, like sell in bulk to resellers, like let's say to cruise ships, because I sold a lot of books to cruise ships, you have to offer a standard industry discount of 55 to 60% off the list price. So, so if your book is costs $10 on Amazon, they will buy it for
Five.
4.5 or 4.
And you
So,
print it outside, or you do that with Amazon, or how you ship it to them? Oh.
well, you can do it with CreateSpace.
Hmm.
But if you're able to, well, it depends on the quantities. If it's really high quantities, then it makes sense to do it offshore, like in China, and have them
By the
ship
way,
it. But
I see on CreateSpace they are offering now to sell Kindle as well. So other than the KDB platform. So which one you prefer? You prefer to stick with KDP platform for the Kindle and CreateSpace for the paperback, and for
yes, I do that.
you do that. Okay. And for hardcover you use Ingram, or what do you use?
Yeah, I don't do hardcover. It's just like from a business standpoint, I don't think it makes sense. It's more of I guess, a prestige thing because you have a hardcover. It looks really good. But yeah, so you can do Ingram if you want it, but it's just too much
complications. Yeah.
Yes, and then they don't actually sell it directly on Amazon, so I skip it.
After you hit the number one and all these targets for the book, let's say within a month, later on your target will be what? To be number one, and you try to hit number one in all Amazon, or what do you do? Or you just try to maintain profitable sales figures?
Well, so that's a personal goal, really. You can hit number one overall Amazon. You can get on the New York Times bestselling list. But that might actually cost you. You might actually be spending money like on ads, on all of the ads. So the cost of it, like financially, you will be in the red. But you have the status. You can say I was number one here, number one there. Who cares that you lost thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars doing that? So
can you become a New York Times bestseller as a self-published author?
Yes, of course.
How to do that?
Well, I think the easiest way would be to do like a collaborative book with other authors, and have everybody promote at the same time, and run a lot of ads on Facebook and on Amazon, because you have to sell like 5,000 or something like that copies in a week, and also on other platforms than Amazon. So yeah, I mean, it's absolutely doable, and I actually. I'm not a New York Times bestselling author yet. I had an evil scheme on how to do that. Like I have it worked out. But when I looked at the time involvement of that and the result and other things that I could do in that time, then the other things are, for me more lucrative and more fulfilling than. I mean, of course, it would be great to hit that title. And when I hit it, I'm not going to complain.
It's not includes sales in the bookstores. How do you get a self-published book into the bookstores?
Well, so it's difficult. You have to talk to the books, to the bookstores individually. Yeah. And so it's difficult, but you still can hit the New York Times bestsellers without being a self-published author, being available on Amazon and the other website.
Yeah, but you can hit the list only if the book is available in certain number of stores in certain areas, right?
Right. So you have, I don't know the exact requirements of that. But yeah, if there's like a paperback, like you have to sell a number of paperbacks, then you have to individually hit the stores. So there's a lot of work involved.
What's the return of investment on a normal good self-published business book if you keep marketing it, and how long is the cycle before the book drops? Like, I know that it depends on the book, and some books maybe last for 5 years, some books for 1 year, but like an average, if you can give me.
Okay, so I don't know on average, okay. Well, what I can tell you is that most self-published books don't even sell 100 copies, so that's the vast majority are just fail in terms of sales. Maybe the author wins, the author wrote a book, and that's their goal, and that's fulfilling. But in terms of sales, they don't perform.
Mm.
Now, in terms of, okay, so I don't know the average, but I know some numbers. I've seen some numbers, so I guess it's you can expect, for that book that's really good, that's that's marketed appropriately to, probably sell like 20,000 copies, and most of it will happen during the launch period, at the beginning of its when it's been published, and then it's just sort of going to go down, and then that's the time to create the other book.
Why not keep marketing it? Why not keep marketing it? It's the same technique, same tools, and it's even easier because you have already set the pages. You know what to do. You keep buying ads, whatever positive. Why not doing that? Or it doesn't work?
I guess there's like a moment where the market is saturated. I mean, I know you're not going to sell to everybody, but in the space that's sort of where you're working. I mean, the best, it's great to keep giving that, the first book all the love, but then then I don't know, it's just like the market.
So how, like, you can, like, if someone works for you and tells you, I pay you a certain amount of money monthly, but I need you to market it for a year, and you're gonna get the monthly payments, but I need a positive ROI on these payments. Is that doable?
I don't know anybody who does that. I don't do that.
Okay.
And you know why? Because it's such a huge endeavor. Like, why would I market somebody else's book for like a percentage of royalties when I have my own book?
No, not percentage. He's gonna pay you, let's say,
like a certain fee.
A certain fee that you agree with, and you know based on your knowledge in the space that how much you can, let's say, bring positive ROI. Even if it's not necessarily working with someone, but like for you, like how much you can keep it in positive ROI. It's very, very important to, because I see like many people talking about the Kindle thing, about creating a business from Kindle by writing 20 to 40 books or 50 books, and based on the research and things, and to make a certain, let's say, $10,000 to $20,000 a month. So is that doable? And they do it without even marketing, just based on the research and things. But I'm talking about doing the right keywords as well, plus marketing. But marketing intelligently, that you stay in the positive area.
Sometimes you can even be negative in terms of book sales, but if you have like higher end offers later, and you can be like super lucrative on that. Mm-hmm. So like, for example, this book, if I'm negative, for example, in terms of if I run a lot of ads, and the ads are more expensive than the book is performing really well. Sometimes you have no idea. You see a book that's ranking really high, but the author is losing money because he's driving all those ads to it. So, net, they're losing money. They're not making money, but you're like, wow, it's number one best-selling in like a huge category. But I don't mind like losing on this, because then if I then get to work with somebody who wants an individual book, then that sort of
covers, yeah. So you already mastered the back end, like
I already have a back end for this. Yes, of course.
And you help the people that you work with develop that as well based on your experience.
So I do everything, like the whole thing, because a lot of authors come to me for just the marketing. And, sometimes I have to break the news, like, okay, sometimes it's repackaging the book. The book is good. We have to repackage it. But sometimes the book is just not good, or in the wrong niche, like a niche that totally doesn't sell. So I like for these the presidents of companies that I work with, or the celebrities, I want to be there from the beginning, so I know that it's done right from scratch, and I don't have to redo anything. So that's like I like it, and I take ownership of it from the beginning to the end.
How to get into which kind of events or awards you recommend, and it's easy to get it, and which one you highly recommend that authors get?
So I have a whole list of awards in this book. I sold 80,000 books. You can get it at authorwisdom.com. In it, there's like a whole list of them. Like one of the companies that I'm affiliated with is Reader's Favorite. And they also give free reviews. It takes longer, so you have to wait a few months before you get the free reviews, or you can upgrade to a paid review. So they are very nice because they will only publish reviews that get 5 or 4 stars. They won't publish reviews that are lower than that. So they're not going to give you any bad publicity, although they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. But so I like them. And then there are others, like some are like really established, like Kirkus, for example. But I'm not a huge fan of paying $400 or $500 for a book review. I prefer to reach out to influencers and have them give me a review for free. Like for this book, I have the ex-CEO of Coca-Cola, he wrote a review, or the general manager of Whirlpool, and I don't have to pay them $500. It was they just did it because they liked the book.
Have you built a funnel to make, let's say, partnership with those, influencers to get a affiliate commission from you? You build a funnel with an affiliate link that they can generate it and make money. And have you done that and it worked?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Yeah, I work a lot with partners. And I offer them attractive conditions to work with me. So it's a big source of lead generation for me, and then eventually revenue for me and for them.
All right. Which platform do you use to generate the affiliate links? Like ClickFunnels, or use other platforms?
I actually use Rainmaker.
Okay.
So I'm happy with them, and I considered moving to ClickFunnels, but when you have a big platform, it's really painful to move.
They are also email marketing, or they just do the affiliate thing?
So they offer so you create your website there, and they also offer like an email service, like email provider. Although I don't use it, I just get response. And now they became like this digital agency. So now they also offer support. Although I'm on a previous plan where I don't have that package, but I pay a lower fee. So I'm happy with them. I considered moving over to ClickFunnels, but for some reasons I'm not. Although I think it's a really cool platform. Like I saw really amazing things done on ClickFunnels, and I love Russell Brunson's stuff. He wrote amazing books, and I have increased my revenue in my business a lot thanks to actually just reading his books.
I don't know if I just listen to books on Audible. I don't know if you have the versions on Audible, because he always never had it there, like on Audible. Do you share royalties with the narrator on when you create your audiobooks, or you usually just pay them a certain fee? And if you pay just a certain fee, how much it costs usually to produce a audiobook?
I prefer to pay the narrator and be done with it. And it depends. I don't remember now, but so there's different fees. There are different fees, like the newer ones. You can actually look for people on Fiverr. Like there are really good people on Fiverr. I mean, there's really bad people, but there are also some amazing artists, like also voiceover and other things like book covers. So just look at that. It's not cheap. It's more, I guess, there's an investment involved, but I prefer to just give somebody a one-off fee and pay them once, and then all the royalties and perpetually are mine rather than share them forever. But I guess it depends on your plan, the plans you have for your book. If you plan not to promote it, then and maybe you want to do the revenue split.
You always talk about the ripoff in the self-publishing industry. So what are the ripoff that authors should avoid?
Well, I actually am a victim of one of these, like a long time ago. Like the biggest thing that, the dumbest thing that I did at the very beginning was I was contacted by this company called World Progress Report, and I think they changed their name like many times. And that my book was selected for an infomercial. And then I had like an interview with some high level leader in the company, and then I passed it, and I was selected. All I had to do was pay a very small production fee of $20,000, and I did it.
Okay.
and it was a disaster. I didn't, the infomercial, I don't even know if it aired. I didn't make any extra sales out of it. And then I talked to a lawyer and I tried to sort of get that money back, but the lawyer did his thing. Then I said, "Can you follow up with them?" And he wanted more money for him following up.
So you lost more money on the lawyer as well.
No, after his first request to get more money from me to call them or whatever, fax them, I said I just figured this is going to be like a never-ending thing, and I decided to refocus, just let it go. Think about positive things, and I lost that, but I learned, and I don't even care now because I have a really well-oiled machine in terms of my business. So whatever, costly mistake, and
you
now
learn from it and move on. Tell us more about Goodreads. Like, how do you use it to find readers and reviewers?
Yeah, so Goodreads is more of a reviewer site rather than a buyer site. So it's a social network for people who like to read books. So the way you want to work Goodreads is sort of connect with other readers of books similar to yours, engage with them. And I always ask people to join my launch team. So any network, I always ask people to go, and I want their email. I want to be able to connect with people directly. So that's what I do on Goodreads. That's what I do on Library Thing. Then there's Noise Trade, Story Cartel, all those sites where you can get people's emails.
All right. So it's mainly for reviewers.
Yeah. It's not really for buyers, no. But you want those reviews so that then the buyers can see, the social proof that you have the reviews. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to.
How is your experience with the foreign rights in terms of like are they honest in terms of counting sales or sending you revenues, royalties? How is your experience? Which country is performing the best? If we talk business books,
Okay, so this is really the first business book that I'm launching now. So we're just getting into the foreign rights. So actually, my foreign rights agent is going to send out information about it. I haven't given it to her yet because first I want to give her results, show her how many reviews, show her how many sales the first days, because I want her to show that to the publishers. But with my experience with other books, I did. The first book that I published, I was approached by a Turkish publisher, the same publisher that published The Secret, the famous book. And they bought rights to my book, and they paid the advance, and that was all I ever saw. I've never heard of, I've never received any report of any sale, so I have no idea.
So you just consider it marketing for your name in that language, and they will translate it, right? And
they buy the rights for a certain period. So I think it's even over because that was in 2000 or 2010. It's best to have a foreign rights agent. So you really want to find an agent. I was lucky enough to find one.
You pay 15% to the agent, or how much?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So I prefer to have somebody, a professional, take care of everything, and they obviously have to get their fee, rather than try to deal with somebody yourself, having no idea if they're legitimate or not.
And then your later experience, for the other books, previous books, like the China, let's say the kids' books, was good.
Yeah, with my foreign rights agent, it's her. She, hammers them, and I just get a nice little report, so I don't have to do anything. I don't have to connect with anybody. So it's really great if you have a team around you, and that's not just the foreign rights agents.
So what if you count for me the team? What is the team? How many people? What they do?
Well, I think you really, as an author, as an entrepreneur, as an author, you really need an assistant. At least one. I have 4. Okay. So you really need, to. So there's a moment where you just have to see how. I have this thought. Let me try to explain it. If doing a certain task, right? If I do a certain task, and the like
You can
and
make more money in that time than what you pay to your outsourced assistant.
yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for reading my mind.
Okay. Okay, so you outsource if you feel that you can make more money with your time in comparison with having
Exactly,
an
yeah. So
assistant.
also
Yeah.
there was like one thing that I thought nobody can do as well as I do. Like, and I have the Library Bub service where I market independently published books to libraries, and I thought like I am the only one who can create that newsletter. I'm the only one who can pull the stats. But then at a certain point, every time and I did it for 2 years myself, and then at a certain point, I was like, I can't do it anymore. I'm not learning anything. It's mechanical, I just compile it from like forms that people submit, and I just thought there must be another way. And it was a mental block. It was really difficult for me to let go of that and train somebody and have her do it. Now I have a assistant who does that. I mean, her whole thing is Library Bub, and
So one assistant, one lady who targets the reviews. What else? One agent.
One for Library Bub. I have an agent, but my situation, I guess it's specific. I have a person that I work with. Like I did 34 interviews for this book, and I didn't do them all myself. I have an excellent person who I work with who interviews people. And now also with the one-on-one books, like I do several at the same time. So I pick the ones that I want to interview with directly. Like I usually take the celebrities, and she's really good in interviewing business people, like presidents of companies. She's amazing. So she interviews them.
And she records, or she writes notes, and then you write
She records.
the book? Or?
She records it. I get it transcribed, and then I have a ghostwriter ghostwrite off the transcription. I have 2 amazing ghostwriters that I work with. And then, on demand, I have some others, but 2 really good, like, proven ones. What else? Oh, I have another assistant who does, who works on generating leads in terms of authors. So she has a specific task to bring more authors to my landing pages. Well, I have a proofreader that I work with that, he checks almost everything I do. Like he proofread this book, almost all of my books, and also like emails when I send emails to my whole list, tens of thousands of people. So I like him to check them, instead of having somebody maybe pointing out the error.
Who's helping you with conversion in terms of strategy, like, copywriter you have with the emails and the whole overall strategy? Do you have like a mentor or a coach or some strategic people that you work with?
Yes, of course. Yes, I have an automation person that I work with. Automates my stuff. I have there's a cover designer that I work with, but they're not on my payroll,
Yeah.
So it's not like it's
project by project.
Yeah. So it's actually really works really well. Yes, my mentor is Dean Jackson. If you listen to I Love Marketing, the I Love Marketing podcast with Joe Polish and Dean Jackson is my mentor. That I go to his breakthrough blueprints once a year, and we do one-on-ones. So yeah, actually this was his idea, like this book.
And there was no monthly like calls or things?
So the idea for this book came on the breakthrough blueprint that I did in London in June, so like 6-7 months ago, and I'm going back to do that, and now I have one-on-one, several one-on-one during the year, one-on-one calls with him. What
is Library Bub?
It's a service that I have to connect indie authors with librarians, so best-selling award-winning indie authors with more than 10,000 librarians. They're mostly in the US. And if you have to go to librarybub.com/authors, then you will see a big orange button that says become a partner. You click that, and there's more information on it. So
basically, you get the book into the bookstores, or what's the service?
Into the libraries.
To the libraries. Okay, so you give the book for free to the library. They show it there,
No,
or
no,
they
no.
buy it? Okay.
I send a newsletter, to the libraries, and then if they like the books, they buy them.
Okay.
And I also promote, like, do a press release that gets picked with all the books that I'm going to feature in the upcoming months, and it always gets picked up by affiliates of ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. Like two for sure of these four, often three.
For
Sometimes even
interviews for the authors.
so it lists all the books, and that gets picked up by journalists, and other opportunities come from
So
that.
that's the main two values for the authors, or there are more?
Those are the main two.
Okay.
Yeah.
How to sell and generate bulk sales by talking to one person? Is that person the agent, or there is another person?
Yeah, so you need to talk to the decision maker. So, for example, when I sold my series to the cruise ships, I was talking to the vice president, retail operations, for example. She was the one who makes the decisions. She loved the book, and she made the decision to purchase for the cruise ships. So you always want to reach out to those people.
Is BookBub still working as selling strategy? Because I haven't
done one for a while.
I heard like kind of there is a problem in Amazon algorithm or something that it's marking it as a spam, something like that. That I don't know if they fixed it or not, but I heard that from one of the marketers.
Well, the thing that you will notice when if somebody is high on the rankings, and you can tell if they did a BookBub or something similar, because when you go to the also bought, you will see that the books are not often related to their own book. So then you can, I don't know if the Amazon algorithm sort of spams that, or like if it's an alert for them, because nobody knows how the Amazon algorithm is constructed. They will never let us know. So I don't know. Potentially there might be a problem. I haven't run a BookBub ad recently. I like to have my own BookBub. That's why I focus so much on the email list. But I will, for sure, do one. So we'll see. But it's mostly a visibility type of thing. Probably you're going to break even because they're quite expensive. So
how was your experience with Facebook events and funding campaigns, crowdfunding?
Okay, so those are two different things. I participated in a Facebook event.
So it's an event for launching the book, or what is the event? How to sell books through Facebook?
It was more like a relaunch, like a marketing. The event that I participated in was different people like myself with different books on book marketing. I don't remember if they were all for free in that period or for $1. And the authors would show up, like they had a specific hour when they would show up and answer questions in the chat box. So that was cool to participate in. I think to organize it, it's really time consuming. And I think, the 20-80 principle, there are better things that you can do. And the crowdfunding, I did a crowdfunding campaign a few years ago that generated, I don't remember, I think around $10,000. But it was very energy consuming and time consuming, and it's not like you just post that you're doing a crowdfunding campaign and people will fly and kick themselves to give you money. So you have to promote it as well, and it was good at the time, but now I have much better ways of generating revenue. So I don't do that anymore.
What's the top 3 softwares that you use that makes you more efficient?
I don't know, my calendar. Okay. I use the calendar on my MacBook. That makes me efficient. I don't know. I'm not such a technological person. I mean, I'm not gadgety. Like I have to have all the apps.
Okay.
So I think it's really my calendar. I use Zoom, like we're using right now, to connect. To connect with my authors, to authors I work with. Calendly, so that people can so that people can find it, a time that works for them and works for me to talk. So there you go, 3.
What's your daily routine when you wake up in the morning until you sleep, or you don't have a certain schedule that you stick to?
Sorry.
No worries.
Sorry about that. So I read The Miracle Morning a while back, and I do a morning routine like that, like how Elrod describes.
Yeah, I interviewed them.
Yeah, so I do that. I first thing I do when I get up is take care of the human things, and then I go get myself a glass of water with half a lemon. I drink that. I look out the window, I just stare out the window while I drink my glass of water with lemon. Then I meditate for
Have
like
you
10
ever
minutes.
drink it without looking at the window?
I usually like to, I don't know, I like to stare out the window.
Okay.
Then I do like a 10-minute meditation, sometimes 15. I have a whole routine. And I actually describe that routine that I do in my self-help book. And Read Me, I Am Magical. It's something that I've been doing for a long time, but not in the morning. So that was easy for me to do. Then I work out. So I either do like a half an hour beach body workout, or if I don't have time, I do burpees for a minute. Burpees are like you jump up with your hands up, and then you like kick your legs behind you as if for a push-up. And you might do the push-up, but I don't actually do the push-up. I just up and legs out. And then I stand in front of the mirror and do affirmations. So I have an affirmation that I say for myself, which is actually a financial goal that I have for myself. And
daily you say it?
Yes, a few times aloud in front of the mirror, like when nobody's watching. So I have that. It's a financial one, and I also like a life one, sort of, so that I make this certain amount of money having fun and changing people's lives. That's it. And then I usually read, like just open up my Kindle and read like half a page of something, just to like carry for the rest of the day. And that will take me like half an hour or 40, 45, maybe up to an hour. Up to an hour if I'm like have time, I guess, like on a Saturday or a Sunday. And if I don't have time, I can do that in 5 minutes to like the speedy version. And then I really feel awesome. Like I feel like I win. I won. I think I'm already achieved everything that I want. So I'm just really built up. And sometimes when I need to do like an interview like this one, or like several in one after the other, I can get a little bit tired at the end. So I will, before I do the next one, like before we sat down, I did my little meditation before, just to recharge.
Top 3 mentors.
3 mentors.
Top 3 mentors.
Yeah. So other mentors, they have different meanings. Dean Jackson is like my one. Go-to mentor, like business-wise. People call people mentors because they read somebody's book, but for me, a mentor is that actually you talk to.
Yeah.
So he's the number one. Like he's the only one really that I have a relationship like that with. And yeah, since I have this relationship, so my business exploded.
What's the top marketing strategy that helped you the most? Single marketing strategy.
Email list.
Okay. And who helped you with the best with converting that email list into customers?
Dean Jackson. Yeah, okay. He has amazing strategies. He has this program called Email Mastery, where it's all about using your email list to convert leads into
digital
buyers.
Course or coaching course?
It's both. There's a membership area, and there's like calls twice a month, so everybody can ask him a question. And there's a Facebook group, so it's interactive. Really, really awesome.
What's
it's
the
a great
best
way to start.
advice you have ever received?
From my dad. And it's actually the dedication in this book. So he said, mind your own business. Which basically means, don't look at
ask me any questions.
No, it was more in the spirit of don't look at what others are doing and like compete with them, feel
Don't
bad
compare.
because
Yeah.
you're not there yet. Just focus on your thing. You're here, you have that goal there. And he always said set goals, have a plan, and then work to get there, like set deadlines. So sort of mind your own business in that way. Like you can everybody is prone to that. You can always look at somebody more successful than you or that you think is more successful, but you have no idea. Like in the example that I gave you about like the number one, whatever, the New York Times bestselling author. There's authors who got on the New York Times bestseller list because they spent $100,000 on it. Like there are companies who used to do that.
Yeah.
They closed them down now, but so you like never
Compare yourself with people.
Yeah, but never be jealous because like you have no idea what's happening with that person. You might not, like, let's say there's this person that you think has the best, like, you look up to, but then there's something maybe in their personal life that you would never want to experience. So yeah, you don't want to be that other person. You want to be yourself and be happy in your skin. And we all, I think that with a clear goal, if you know if you don't know where you're going, any ship will take you there. Like any whatever, and you win. I don't remember. But when you have a clear goal, like, and you have this, I think this morning routine is really, really also like speed rocketed my growth here. So I think it all starts in your mind, and then you see the results outside.
Top 3 favorite books.
Well, so I like Think and Grow Rich. Not all of it, but I think the beginning. It's actually a book that really shaped me when I was little. It's like one of those stories that the book falls off the shelf on your feet. I just saw it. I was a teenager and I saw it. It's a Think and Grow Rich. I'm like, I can think. So I really liked that. Spiritually, I really like the Abraham Hicks stuff. So it's all sort of that, as within, so without. So it all starts within you. So I like one of their books is Getting into the Vortex. So I really resonate with that. And what else? Like now I see that book that's staring at me is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. I don't know if that's like one of the top 3 of all time, but it's it's a really good one for business people, especially for somebody who wants to run webinars. Or I learned from this book how to run a successful webinar. Like now I crush it with webinars because of that book.
Before you never ran webinars, only after you.
No, I did, but they weren't as good.
Who else helped you other than Dean? Like in terms of mentorship or advice or strategies, who else like you really look up to and helped you really with things that worked?
I don't know. Like he really stands out. Well, his partner Joe Polish. So before I reached out to T. Jackson, I listened to I Love Marketing, the podcast, which is amazing. For any entrepreneur. So you definitely want to listen to as many episodes as you can. So Joe Polish is also, fantastic, but it's the same sort of, space. They work together. Not sure who else. Like I didn't really have a mentor, like a one-on-one, like we talk, like we do right now. I read tons of books and took a lot of online courses.
What's the best 3 online courses that you have done?
Oh gosh, the 3 best online courses. Okay, so again, this is going to be repetitive. Email Mastery by D. Jackson is awesome. I don't really like the idea of online course if it's just a digital download. I like an online course where you actually, get time live with the, person who created it. So I like. I'm going to be keep thinking about the other courses, but I designed my own mastery group in a similar way as Dean Jackson designed his. So there's a membership site, and I do like calls twice a month at least with the group of people that are in it. So I think that's a really good model.
On which platform you run it? On which software?
Rainmaker.
Rainmaker.
Yeah.
Okay. But I see your digital courses is on very low prices. Is that working better after testing? Because
Oh, I
most.
did those long time ago. I forgot
Okay.
about those. They're still there. I
Okay.
keep them as like lead generation. Somebody sees it on like JVZoo or one of those platforms, and it's like $10-$20. Yeah. No, now I moved away from that. I do more high end. Like I prefer to give somebody a full immersion, help him with the whole process rather than like a piece. But that was when I was just starting out. I didn't know how to do that. So yeah, that's like the ghost of the past.
Last question: how people can contact you?
So the best way, if like you want to learn how to write a book or publish a book, is to download this for free. How I Sold 80,000 Books. Go to authorwisdom.com and download that. Or like business-wise, Supreme Leadership is a really awesome way to sort of get to know my business mentality. And actually, you asked about mentors. These guys in here, they are amazing. I mean, I'm not saying that because I wrote this book. It's because I interviewed them. I know what they said. So this is 34 CEOs of companies who made it to 25 years, and where most companies fail in like a matter of months or years. So these are rock stars, and this book explains like what they had in them that allowed them to do that. So like these are the mentors that I think, like even the people that I interviewed, they said, I wish this book was around when I was just starting out. So yeah, so it's definitely Supreme Leadership, and if you want to learn more about like creating a business book, then you can go to leaderspress.com, which is Leaders Press is my imprint. So leaderspress.com, and you can find out. Download the bestseller creation secrets for leaders. So this is like the way to follow up with me from the book.
Thank you so much, Alinka. Really appreciate your time today with me.
Thank you, Ahmed. This has been great.
My pleasure. Thanks, everyone. Be efficient and stay efficient, and see you soon with another leading expert.